Nobody puts baby in a corner.
From Patrick Swayze nearly dying on set to Jennifer Grey's nose job that almost ended her career, the making of Dirty Dancing is filled with stories nobody talks about. The movie that became a cultural phenomenon almost didn't happen. Studios rejected it. Distributors laughed at it. The leads couldn't stand each other. And the iconic lake scene? That scream wasn't acting. It was pure terror. Behind every romantic moment you remember is a disaster that almost destroyed the whole production. The final dance almost got cut. The title almost got changed. And the film that made over $200 million worldwide almost went straight to video. These are 21 weird facts you didn't know about Dirty Dancing. Let's dive in. If you're a fan of classic romance movies and the stories behind them, hit subscribe. I cover Hollywood secrets and behind-the-scenes chaos every week. Now, let's get into it. Number 21. Patrick Swayze was in constant pain during filming. While shooting Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze was dealing with a severe knee injury that required surgery. But production couldn't stop. The schedule was too tight, the budget too small, and they were already behind. So Swayze did what any dedicated actor would do. He suffered in silence. He was popping prescription pain medication between takes and icing his knee whenever the cameras weren't rolling. The medical team on set begged him to take a break. The doctors warned him he was risking permanent damage. He refused. The famous lift scene where he hoists Jennifer Grey above his head? He did that on a busted knee that was swollen twice its normal size. The doctors told him to rest for at least 3 weeks. He rested for 3 days. His dedication was impressive, but it came at a brutal cost. Years later, Swayze admitted in multiple interviews that the injury never fully healed. It caused him chronic pain and mobility issues for the rest of his life. He said he could feel it every morning when he woke up, a constant reminder of what he gave to that film. Every time you watch that final dance, every spin, every lift, every dramatic move across the floor, you're watching a man pushing through legitimate agony. The smile on his face wasn't just acting. It was pure determination and willpower. Number 20. Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze hated each other at first. Before Dirty Dancing, Grey and Swayze worked together on Red Dawn in 1984, and they couldn't stand each other. The tension on that set was legendary among the cast and crew. Swayze thought Grey was too serious, too method, too uptight about every little detail. He'd try to joke around between takes, lighten the mood, and she'd shut him down immediately. Grey thought Swayze was immature, unprofessional, and wouldn't take direction seriously enough. She saw him goofing off with the other actors and assumed he didn't care about the work. They had completely different approaches to acting, and neither respected the other's process. When they were both cast as romantic leads in Dirty Dancing, both of them panicked. Grey reportedly called her agent and begged to know if there was any way to get out of the contract. Swayze told friends he didn't know how he was going to fake chemistry with someone he couldn't even have a civil conversation with. The director, Emile Ardolino, had to sit them down for what was basically couples therapy. He made them talk through their issues, explain their working styles, find common ground. It took days of tense conversations. What's wild is that the tension between them actually helped the early scenes. That awkwardness between Baby and Johnny, that class divide, that sense of two people from different worlds who don't quite understand each other yet, that wasn't all acting. They genuinely didn't like each other at that point in filming. But as the weeks went on, something shifted. They started respecting each other's work ethic. Grey saw how hard Swayze trained, how much pain he pushed through, how seriously he took the dancing. Swayze saw how committed Grey was to getting every emotional beat exactly right, how much preparation she put into each scene. By the end of filming, they'd become genuine friends. They stayed in touch for years afterward. Number 19. The lake scene scream was completely real. You know the scene. Baby wades into the freezing lake while practicing balance for the lift. She's supposed to stay calm, focused, graceful. Instead, she lets out this blood-curdling scream that echoes across the whole lake. That wasn't in the script. Nobody planned it. Nobody expected it. The water was absolutely glacial. It was a mountain lake in Virginia in early autumn, and mountain lakes don't warm up, ever. The surface temperature that day was probably around 55 degrees. For context, that's cold enough to cause shock if you're not prepared for it. Jennifer Grey stepped in expecting cold water. She'd mentally prepared herself for cold. What she got was basically liquid ice that hit her like a physical wall. The shock to her system was instant and overwhelming. Her scream wasn't a performance choice. It wasn't a character decision. It was a genuine reaction to her body going into mild shock. The crew on the shore started laughing immediately. Patrick Swayze, standing waist-deep in the same freezing water, completely lost it. His laugh after she screams, also completely real and unscripted. He wasn't expecting her to react that intensely, and her genuine terror struck him as hilarious. The director, watching from the bank with the camera crew, knew immediately that this was gold. He called cut, then told them to do it again and try to recreate that moment. But the second take wasn't the same. Gray knew what to expect now. The scream was performed, not genuine. The magic was gone, so they used the first take. The entire moment is pure, unscripted authenticity. And it's one of the most memorable scenes in the film. Number 18. Nobody wanted to distribute the movie. After Dirty Dancing wrapped in late 1986, the studio was confident they had something special. They invited major distributors to early screenings, expecting a bidding war. The response was brutal. Almost every single one passed. Paramount said no. Warner Brothers said no. Universal wasn't interested. The feedback was remarkably consistent across the board. They said the movie was too niche, too regional, too focused on a specific time period that nobody cared about anymore. They said the dancing wouldn't translate to mainstream audiences who wanted action movies and comedies. They said teen romance movies were dead after a string of embarrassing flops. One executive reportedly said it was a movie for nobody, meaning it wasn't for kids, wasn't for adults, wasn't for any identifiable demographic they knew how to market to. Vestron Pictures, a small home video distribution company that mostly handled straight-to-VHS releases, took a gamble and picked it up. But even they didn't believe in it. Their internal projections were pessimistic. Their plan was simple and cynical. Give it a limited theatrical release in a handful of cities, let it die quietly over a weekend or two, then recoup whatever costs they could through VHS rentals. They projected maybe $10 million total if they were extremely lucky. Instead, Dirty Dancing opened in August 1987 and became an absolute phenomenon. It made over $60 million in its first domestic run alone. Worldwide, it brought in over $214 million on a $6 million budget. It became the first film to sell over 1 million copies on VHS. Vestron Pictures made more money than they'd ever seen in their entire history as a company. The success actually destroyed them. They tried desperately to replicate it, spent wildly on other projects, and went bankrupt by 1990. And all those major distributors who passed, they're still kicking themselves decades later. Number 17. The abortion subplot almost got cut. In Eleanor Bergstein's original script, Penny's abortion storyline was front and center. It's the entire reason Baby gets involved with Johnny's world. But test audiences in the mid-80s were deeply uncomfortable with it. This was the Reagan era. Abortion was politically explosive. The executives at Vestron wanted it removed entirely. Writer Eleanor Bergstein absolutely refused. She fought to keep it, arguing it was essential to the story and to Baby's character development. The compromise was making it subtle. They didn't use the word abortion directly. They referred to it as Penny being in trouble. But Bergstein made the message crystal clear. The illegal procedure, the botched job that nearly kills Penny, Baby's father saving her life. It's one of the boldest choices in an 80s romance film marketed to young audiences. Number 16. Patrick Swayze choreographed his own solos. The film hired Kenny Ortega, who'd later do High School Musical, to handle group numbers and the finale. But Patrick Swayze didn't need help with his solos. He choreographed his own dancing, including that unforgettable scene where Johnny practices alone in the empty ballroom. Swayze had trained as a dancer since childhood. His mother ran a dance school in Houston, and he grew up immersed in that world. He'd even danced professionally with companies before transitioning to acting. He wanted Johnny's style to feel fundamentally different from the formal ballroom dancing. More sensual, more rebellious, more working class. That's why his solos have this completely different energy. Every move was a deliberate choice Swayze made to build the character and separate Johnny from the uptight resort world. Number 15. Jennifer Grey's nose job destroyed her career. Right after Dirty Dancing became a massive hit in late 1987, Jennifer Grey was everywhere. She was on magazine covers. She was being offered major roles. Studios wanted her. Then in 1989, she got a nose job, but it changed her face enough that people stopped recognizing her. And in Hollywood, recognizability is everything. Casting directors who'd wanted to work with her suddenly didn't know who she was when she walked into auditions. They'd look at her headshot, look at her face, and not make the connection. Her unique look was gone. She looked beautiful, but generic. Grey has talked about this openly in interviews. She said it was the biggest mistake of her life. Not because she regrets how she looks, but because it killed her momentum at the exact moment her career was exploding. She went from one of the most in-demand actresses in Hollywood to struggling for callbacks. One cosmetic procedure changed everything. Number 14. The line "Nobody puts baby in a corner" was improvised. One of the most iconic lines in movie history wasn't in the original script. During the final scene, Patrick Swayze was supposed to say something generic, something like, "I'm taking her with me," but it didn't feel right to him. Swayze felt the line needed to be about defending Baby as a person, not just claiming her romantically. So during one of the takes, he looked directly at Baby's father and said, "Nobody puts Baby in a corner." It was a gamble. Improvising a key line in the climax could have ruined the take. Instead, it became the most quoted line from the entire film. The director loved it so much, he made Swayze repeat it in every subsequent take. You can hear the conviction in Swayze's voice. It's not rehearsed. It's a character choice made in the moment. Number 13. The resort was falling apart during filming. The Mountain Lake Hotel in Virginia, where they shot most resort scenes, was not in great shape. Parts of the building were literally crumbling. The infrastructure was decades old and poorly maintained. The production had to do massive repairs just to make it safe for cast and crew. They brought in contractors to shore up structures and fix electrical issues. Some indoor scenes had to be shot at different locations because the hotel's interior was too damaged, but the exterior was perfect for the faded glamour Catskills vibe they needed. The lake behind the hotel has actually disappeared multiple times since filming. It's fed by underground springs that shift unpredictably. Sometimes the lake drains almost completely. When it's full, fans make pilgrimages to recreate the lift. When it's empty, they stand in the dry lake bed where the water used to be. Number 12. The music rights almost killed the whole project. Dirty Dancing's soundtrack is as iconic as the movie itself, but clearing rights to all those songs almost bankrupted production. Time of My Life was written specifically for the film, but all the other tracks required expensive licensing deals. Be My Baby by the Ronettes, Hungry Eyes by Eric Carmen, Hey Baby by Bruce Channel. Each song cost thousands in licensing fees. The studio initially refused to pay for authentic songs. They wanted cheaper alternatives. The director, Emile Ardolino, threatened to walk. He knew the music was essential to the film's identity. Eventually, the studio gave in, but it meant cutting corners elsewhere in the already tight budget. The gamble paid off. The soundtrack sold over 32 million copies worldwide and stayed on the Billboard charts for over a year. The album made more money than the film did in its initial release. Number 11. Baby was based on the writer's real life. Eleanor Bergstein, who wrote Dirty Dancing, wasn't making this up. This was her life. She really was called Baby growing up. It was her family nickname. She really did go to Catskills resorts during the 1960s with her family every summer. She really did have a summer romance with a dance instructor when she was a teenager. And yes, she really did carry a watermelon once. That infamous line. That happened to Bergstein in real life. She was trying to get backstage to see the dancers, and security stopped her. She grabbed the first excuse she could think of. It was awkward and absurd, but the moment stuck with her for decades. When she got to write her own film, she knew that line had to be in there. Bergstein has said that writing Dirty Dancing was like processing her own teenage years, her own awakening, her own first experience with class differences. Number 10. Patrick Swayze sang the love theme himself. Most people assume She's Like the Wind was performed by a professional singer. Nope, that's Patrick Swayze. He co-wrote it with Stacey Widlitz, and he sang every note. Swayze was a triple threat: dancer, actor, singer, but he was incredibly insecure about his voice. He almost didn't record it because he didn't think he was good enough. The producers convinced him the song needed to feel personal and intimate. No session singer could deliver that emotional vulnerability. Swayze finally agreed to try, but he was nervous through the entire recording session. He did dozens of takes, convinced each one wasn't good enough. The result became one of the most beloved movie ballads of the 80s. It hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and stayed on the charts for months. Number 9. The movie was almost rated X for the dancing. When Dirty Dancing was submitted to the MPAA for rating, the board had serious concerns. Not about the abortion subplot, not about the language, the dancing. The way Swayze and Gray moved together in the final number made some board members uncomfortable. They debated giving it an X rating, which would have destroyed its box office completely. The studio argued it was artistic expression. They brought in dance historians to testify the moves were authentic to the 60s. Eventually, the board settled on PG-13, but it was close. Number 8. Jennifer Grey was the producer's second choice. The role of Baby was originally offered to Sarah Jessica Parker. Parker was interested, but her schedule didn't work out. Meg Ryan and Sharon Stone were considered. But when Jennifer Grey auditioned, she brought something different. She had this mix of innocence and defiance that felt perfect for Baby. Plus, she could dance well enough to sell the training montages. Grey won the role knowing it could change her life. It did, just not how she expected. Number 7. The famous lift took months to perfect. That final lift is the most iconic image from the film. It took forever to get right. Jennifer Grey was terrified of being dropped. Patrick Swayze's knee injury made it harder. Even on shooting day, they weren't confident. The first takes were shaky. Grey couldn't commit. Swayze couldn't get the lift smooth. Finally, the director said, "This is the last take. If we don't get it, we're cutting the lift." That pressure made it perfect. Number 6. The film's title was almost changed. Dirty Dancing was considered too suggestive by studio executives. Proposed alternatives included I Was a Teenage Mambo Queen and Baby It's You. Eleanor Bergstein refused to budge. She argued that Dirty Dancing captured the rebellious energy perfectly. The studio backed down but remained nervous. They thought it would hurt ticket sales. Instead, the provocative title made people curious. Number 5. Johnny's backstory was much darker in early drafts. In the original script, Johnny Castle had a seriously grim past. He came from a broken home with an abusive father. He'd been involved in petty crime as a teenager. The reason he ended up as a dance instructor was because it was the only legal job he could get after juvenile detention. Test audiences found this version too dark and damaged. They wanted him to be more of a romantic hero. So the backstory was softened significantly. The hints of his rough childhood stayed, but the criminal past got cut entirely. Either way, Swayze played him with enough quiet intensity that you can still sense the darkness underneath. Number 4, the cast and crew partied like it was the 60s. Filming Dirty Dancing was, by all accounts, completely chaotic. The cast stayed at the same resort where they were shooting. After long days of grueling rehearsals and multiple takes, they'd throw massive parties in the hotel every single night, dancing, drinking, hooking up, staying up until dawn. The line between the movie and real life got seriously blurry. Some of the younger actors have said in interviews that it genuinely felt like they were living in a 60s summer camp. The energy and wildness from those late-night parties bled directly into the film. You can see it in the group dance scenes. That looseness, that genuine joy, that natural chemistry between the dancers. The director, Emile Ardolino, actively encouraged it. He wanted the cast to feel like a real community. Number 3. The movie saved a dying genre. Before Dirty Dancing exploded in the summer of 1987, the dance film genre was considered completely dead by Hollywood. Flashdance had done surprisingly well in 1983, but everyone dismissed it as a one-time fluke. Studios firmly believed that audiences didn't care about dance movies anymore. Dirty Dancing proved them catastrophically wrong. Its massive success triggered a wave of dance films in the late 80s and 90s, trying to replicate its formula. It showed Hollywood that people still wanted stories about movement, music, and physicality. Without Dirty Dancing's success, you probably don't get Step Up, You Got Served, Save the Last Dance, or any of the other dance franchises that followed. The film didn't just succeed as a standalone hit, it revived and redefined an entire genre. Number 2. Penny's actress was a real-life dance champion. Cynthia Rhodes, who played Penny, wasn't just an actress pretending to dance for the camera, she was a legitimate professional dancer with years of elite training and performance experience. She'd worked as a dancer in some of the biggest music videos of the 80s. She could execute complex moves that Jennifer Grey and even Patrick Swayze sometimes struggled with. In rehearsals, she was often the one teaching them steps and correcting their form. The choreographer used her as the benchmark for the rest of the cast. If Cynthia can do this move clean in 3 takes, so can you. But Rhodes was more than just technical skill. She made Penny's emotional pain feel devastatingly real. When Penny talks about the botched abortion, when she's recovering and broken, Rhodes played it with a raw vulnerability that genuinely broke people's hearts in theaters. She deserved far more recognition than she got for that performance. Number 1. Patrick Swayze's widow revealed he was sick during filming. This fact didn't come out until years after Swayze's tragic death from pancreatic cancer in 2009. His widow, Lisa Nemi, shared in multiple interviews and in her memoir that Patrick had been dealing with undiagnosed health issues during the Dirty Dancing shoot. He was exhausted constantly, far beyond what the demanding schedule should have caused. He'd lose his breath during dance sequences that shouldn't have winded someone with his level of training. He had unexplained weight fluctuations. At the time, everyone on set, including Swayze himself, chalked it up to the intensity of the production schedule and his knee injury. But looking back with the knowledge of his later diagnosis, Niemi believes he was already showing early signs of the pancreatic cancer that would eventually kill him 2 decades later. Swayze never knew. He had no idea his body was already starting to fail him. He just thought he was out of shape or overworked. The idea that he was dancing his heart out, giving everything to that role, while his body was already being attacked by cancer, makes the film almost unbearably bittersweet to watch now. He gave everything to Dirty Dancing, literally everything, and he didn't even know how much he was sacrificing. So there you have it, 21 facts that change how you see Dirty Dancing. From Patrick Swayze's hidden pain to Jennifer Grey's career-ending nose job, the stories behind this movie are just as dramatic as what's on screen. If you want more deep dives into classic films, I've got a whole breakdown of The Notebook's chaotic production. That video is on screen now. Click it. And if you made it this far, subscribe. You're clearly into this stuff.